This week's all-new episode of The Flash was called Fastlane, and it opens up with the creation of yet another metahuman villain. This time around, it's Tar Pit, another in a long line of Jeff Johns created baddies to debut in this show, and one of only a couple villains I can think of to not be from Earth 2 this season. The West family dynamic yet again took center stage this week. Joe is trying to appeal to Wally as a friend, but Iris believes he needs tough love and a firm hand if he's ever going to come around, and that means invading his street racing space. Okay, two things about this. One, I understand wearing a skimpy costume to go undercover, but why, if you're doing that, do you go out of your way to take pictures in plain view of everybody? Doesn't that sort of defeat the purpose of being incognito? And two, if you've gathered all this dirt on the street racing operation enough to write a whole news piece on it, why not just take your findings to the cops instead of endangering your own life trying to scare the crooks running the races? Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see Iris have stuff to do this episode. I just, want it to make a little bit more sense. At the other end of the episode, Harry is finally ready to spring his new device that will steal Barry's speed for Zoom, only what he was not prepared for was Barry to take an almost son-like interest in his work. I liked seeing the show remember that comic Barry could speed read and retain information for short bursts of time. It's a cool effect. Too bad, once again, in an annoying quirk of dialogue, they still refer to Thawne wearing Earth 1 Wells' face as Dr. Wells. They do this no less than 3 times during Fastlane, even when referencing events that took place last week with the Reverse Flash. Seriously, why don't they just cut out the middleman and call him the Reverse Flash? Because that's who he is. It would fix all of the problems. Eventually, Tar Pit's quest for revenge on those who tried to kill him conveniently crosses over with the street racing stuff. Tar Pit looks cool enough, and by the end even takes a much more Golem-esque comic book form, but there's really nothing to write home about this guy. He was pretty bland. But when Iris gets injured in one of Tar Pit's attacks, Wally gets his first real bit of character growth, realizing that his actions hurt someone other than himself. This version of Wally still has a very long way to go before he's anything close to likable, but hey, baby steps. By the end of Fastlane, Harry's betrayal is revealed hilariously moments after he gives a speech about the lengths he would go to save his daughter from Zoom, including betraying everybody. Barry forgives him for stealing his speed, but everyone also seems to forget the fact that he killed a defenseless dude in one of their holding cells last week. But you know what, don't think too hard on that when everyone road trip to Earth 2. Fastlane, in summation, if you couldn't tell, was an instantly forgettable episode of The Flash. There's just no easy way to put it. In fact, I'm writing this review a few days later, and I'm having a hard time even recalling what happened. We had a bland villain who gets defeated way too easily despite how much they build up his powers. The Harry stuff feels scattershot, and the Wally West stuff felt like it was ripped from a after-school special. Even the effects felt kinda sloppy this week, which is weird. The only saving grace, the only thing that I can even kinda say was enjoyable about this is when Joe punched people. Yeah, he punched a lot of people this episode. It was a ton of fun. But beyond that, I really have no other choice but to give this one a 5 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll feel like checking out some more videos I have on offer here at Cape Joel.